What's up, everyone? I just want to say thank you for joining me for Cooking Up Positivity with Kendall Kee. Today we're going to be making a very simple, one of my favorites because it's so delicious, quick, easy, simple meal prep meals. We're going to be making some fajita bowls, and along the way we're going to be talking about some positive quotes, just get them feel good vibes. You already know how we do. So let's get started. So for our fajitas, we're going to be using 1 pound of sliced chicken, 4 cups of bell peppers, as well as 2 tablespoons of fajita seasoning. So the first thing we want to do is get our pan. I already sprayed some cooking oil all up in there. Get it nice, hot, and ready to go. Right now we're using our chicken. We can go ahead and put it in. Oh yeah, again, you gotta love that sizzle. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and let this cook up. It's gonna be about like maybe 5-8 minutes. Alright, so now our chicken's looking good. And remember, I'm using already pre-cooked chicken, so I ain't trying to leave it on here too very long. So now that I got it nice and hot, the temperature is where I want it to be, I'm gonna go ahead and set it off to the side. Then we're gonna get started with our veggies. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and check out a quote right now. All right, so our quote, I love this one. I came across this one on Instagram and it spoke to me. So it says, love yourself first because that's who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. And that's true. We are with ourselves 24/7, and sometimes we're our best friend, but most times we're our own worst enemy. We get plagued with these negative thoughts, negative self-talk, these destructive words, and it makes it hard for us to be able to accept somebody giving compliments to us about all the things we're doing right that we don't notice, or they go unnoticed because we're with ourselves 24/7. So loving yourself first is something that we need to practice, something that I need to practice. Throughout the week, I've been given obstacles, tasks at work, etc., my personal life. And one thing that I do is I go to the gym often. And I go hiking. For me, that's self-care, that's self-love. That's a version of something that I do to help me, realign myself with my content, my peace, my serenity. And for you, it might look different. It could be doing jewelry work, bead work, it could be reading a book, whatever you gotta do. Don't forget to tell yourself that you gotta love yourself first, because in most cases, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. Love yourself. So once you got your pan with a little bit of cooking oil, we're gonna go ahead and throw our veggies on there. Oh yeah. Again, I love that sound. Alright, so we're gonna give this about maybe 6 minutes to go ahead and cook on some low heat. And then once we get that going, we're gonna go ahead and get our chicken and we're gonna go to throw it in here, add a little bit of fajita seasoning to it, and I guarantee it's gonna taste so bomb. We're also gonna pair it up with some of my favorite sides. Alright, so now I got the veggies to the tenderness that I like. I like my veggies soft, so I got them there. Depending on how you like the tenderness of your veggies, well, that'll kind of determine how long you can let it cook. So now that we got it going, we got our fajita sauce. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, the fajita seasoning, and we're going to bring back our chicken. We're going to go ahead and mix them up together, let them cook for a couple of minutes. Man, that already smells so good. What I tell you, nice and simple, quick too. Yeah, we got them looking good, and I guarantee that they smell even better than they look. So right now, we're gonna go ahead and look at another quote. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what meal prepping looks like, at least for me, all right? I'm gonna go with some size that I already chose and got ready for this video. This next quote I love because this is something that I'll admit I do. I do this often, but the quote says, "Don't compare your life to others. There's no comparison between the sun and the moon. They shine when it's their time." It's like I find myself so often, comparing myself to where others are at times, especially in the gym and their physical fitness and all of that. I feel like, I should be at point B, but no, I'm still stuck at point A. I was like that in my recovery as well. When I first started, I was like, no, like my life's got to be put together ASAP. And I know that y'all can definitely relate to this as well, so stop comparing yourself, because just like the last quote said, we got to love ourselves. How can we love ourselves when we're comparing ourselves to somebody else? Somebody else is perception of their life. Like, we distort our perception because it's like, when we pause things and we have those moments when we get that rest. We have those moments when we take a break from all the madness, all the chaos, everything else that's going around. We see that we are shining, whether it be in our darkest times or in our triumphs and our victories. There's always moments to shine, and I guarantee you, whether you realize it or not, you're shining right now. You're shining some light into somebody else's life, and I guarantee you that somebody is thankful that you are present in their life. Ain't no need to compare, there really ain't. All right, so now that we got our chicken fajitas ready to go, I actually am going to be using some cauliflowered rice as well as some black beans. And you can get creative with this. Use the ingredients that you like, that you enjoy. Because, again, hey, this is your cooking. You get to mix it up. That's why I love cooking. I get to throw the things that I like in there. I'm also going to top it off with a little bit of cheese, some pico. It's going to be so good. All right, let me show you how I'm going to do it. All right, so for the sides, we're going to be using black beans and cauliflower rice. You can always switch it up and use what you got, or use the things you like. All right, so again, we got our chicken fajitas ready to go. I'm using cauliflower rice as well as some black beans. Now the serving size on the black beans is half a cup, so that's what I'm using. This one is gonna be half a cup, but the entire calorie count for this is 35 calories. So you can go wild with that if you want. Our chicken, again, is gonna be 16 ounces. Since it was a pound of chicken, we used 4 cups of mixed vegetables. So let's go ahead and divvy this up. All right, so what I tell you, quick and easy, and on top of that, you get 4 meals out of that, and it's looking hella good. But before I show y'all what it should look like, let's go ahead and talk about another quote right now. This one kind of falls in line with everything else. Rather than beating yourself up for what you are not doing, appreciate and celebrate the things you are doing. Oh my goodness. It is so like me to focus on the one thing I did wrong, the one thing that I didn't get right, when I've done a million things right. I've done 1,000 things right that day, but then I want to go ahead and beat myself up for the things that I am not doing. It just kind of goes back to comparing and loving yourself. There's plenty of moments in life that come up that, they just suck. Circumstances kind of weigh us down at times. I know they weigh me down at times. And it's like I forget about all the things that I'm doing right. I forget about all the things that I've accomplished, and I forget about everything else that I have overcame. that I allow these little struggles or these little setbacks to be catastrophized. And when I get to that point, I don't love myself. I compare myself to others. And it's just a vicious cycle that is so easy to get in. But this year, I definitely want to find that celebration and that appreciation of myself. I want to appreciate and love myself for all the little victories that I tend to forget about, the blessings that I have that I tend to forget about. You know, they're so overlooked, and it's like those could be the biggest things that get us back on the right path of appreciating and celebrating all the things that we are doing today, the things that you have done already, the big accomplishments, the big triumphs. Don't forget about them, because they built you into the person that you are right now. So taking all the ingredients, I'm talking the chicken, black beans, cauliflower rice, even the pico and the cheese, I tallied this up to be 280 calories, 32 grams of protein, 27 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat per meal. This last one, I absolutely love. I love it because it speaks to me deeply. This past year has been rough. It truly has. It's been rough on like my emotional well-being, my mental well-being, my physical well-being, and my spiritual well-being. Like, it was rough. And if I'm being honest, for the past 3 years since I got clean and sober, I've been stuck in this realm of when you're just stuck, you level out, you plateau. I was there and I was living it for the past 3 years. But it took a situation, it took somebody coming into my life to really stir things up. And I was just like, whoa, like I got so much more work to do on myself. Like, it was a trip. It truly was. Like, I didn't plan for it, and it just kind of happened. All the circumstances started to build up. You know, some unresolved traumas started to come up, and I just didn't know how to navigate it. Like, there were plenty of times when I was just like bawling tears. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I didn't know how to voice the hurt, the pain, everything that I was internalizing. You know, the thoughts, it's like my thoughts went from A all the way to Z and back. And it was a trip. Like, this past year has been rough. And if it's been rough for me, I can only imagine what you have had to gone through this year. I can only imagine the struggles that you have gone through. But if you're like me, I hope this quote speaks to you, because this quote says, this past year, I had to be strong. This year, I'll find my peace and my joy. And I love that, because this past year, I had to be strong. I had to be strong because there were like some times when I was actually concerned about my recovery, about me and my serenity, me staying sober. Like, that was a big concern to me, because it's like, you know, I know myself, and I know that if I backtrack into my addiction and everything, I already know what that looks like. I already know what I'm gonna do, and that is a scary thought. And I had to be strong. I had to be strong to ensure that didn't happen. You know, life happens. Life is gonna keep rolling. Circumstances will keep coming. Triumphs will be right there. And we just gotta keep moving forward. We just gotta keep being strong. And I had to do that this year. I truly did. And I bet you that you had to do it too. So this coming year, I'll find my peace, and I'm gonna find my joy, because you know what? Happiness, I feel like, depends on our circumstances. Hey, you want a jackpot at the casino? Hey, you're happy. But what happens when that money goes? Joy, is something internal. Joy is like a state of being. It is something that you could hold on to for a while. And that's what I want to find this year. I want to find my joy, because it's like, you know, I love smiling. I love making others laugh. And I love it when I have that peace and joy. And I know what it feels like, because I've had that plenty of times before. But this year, I'm gonna find it again, and I'm gonna hold on to it, best believe, because this year, it's gonna be my year. This year, you're gonna make something huge happen in your life. I can already tell. And deep down, you know it as well. Hey, stay blessed. Alright, so see, meal prepping ain't gotta be hard or, you know, complicated. Make it simple, make it enjoyable. You know, these are delicious foods, and now you ain't gotta worry about what you're gonna have for lunch when you go to work. You ain't gotta worry about what you're gonna have for dinner, because now you got some options, alright? Just remember, a little positivity can make life taste so good. Y'all have a good one.